Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to day 3 of my series on figuring out how in the world we can survive in the middle of our current global crisis. On Monday, we talked about the 3 R's that can help us to successfully deal with change. Those are relate, repeat, and reframe. So with relate, we need to find support and find people that we can still build relationships with and find that community support. The second one is repeat. We need to make things easier on our brain, which everything has changed and we're not in our normal routines and habits. So quickly, or as quickly as possible, build some new routines and habits so that our brain can have some things it can rely on. So just do some things that you can repeat to give your brain a little bit of more calm in the midst of the chaos. And then the third one is reframe. How can you look at your situation with a different perspective that's more helpful in serving you? And then yesterday we talked about regulating and controlling our emotions. Negative emotions aren't bad and they can be really helpful. But if they're causing us to ruminate on things that we can't control, they aren't actually serving us. So we learned how to shift our focus onto positive things and onto things that we can't actually control. So today I want to talk about choosing to live. This right now, what we've got going on is our life. It is our actual real life. Life has not stopped for any of us. Life is not about some destination, we all know this, not about some destination that we're striving to reach. It's about the entire journey, the experience, and the whole process of living. It's through the ups and the downs, the challenges, the pain, and the good times. It's all life. And what we've got going on right now is your actual life. We are not on pause. It may feel like everything is on hold and the whole world is shutting down, but we're still in the middle of that you only get one shot life that we have to live. The coronavirus did not put your life on hold. It might have put things in your life on hold or changed them, but what the chance that you have to live is still active and going. So what do you want your life to look like when this is all over and you're, long time from now and your grandkids are sitting around you asking about how your experience was during the coronavirus pandemic all those years ago? How do you want to be able to respond to them? How do you want to say you lived? What do you want to say that you did during this time? Everyone's situation in this circumstance is going to be different. So right now, some of us are busier than ever. There's medical professionals and IT professionals and truck drivers and restaurant workers and grocery workers that are probably working more hours and things are more stressful for them just with the amount of stuff that they have to do, while other people are without a job and they're spending way more time at home with nothing to do than before. And we've got all kinds of situations of everywhere in between. So I want to be careful not to be prescriptive or tell people what you should do or kind of give something that everybody should be doing this right now, because we've all got a lot of different experiences. And it's your life and your decisions on how you want to live. So determine what's unique to you and how you actually want to live. I do want to invite you to do something with this time, to view our current situation as an opportunity. The way I see it, we have 3 options with the situation that we're facing. We can use this time to bury ourselves in negative emotions and negative behaviors and just kind of numb everything out and essentially move backwards in all of our personal progress, personal growth. We can use this time to stagnate, to just put everything on pause, to hang out and just wait for it all to get over and just kind of be stuck. Or we can use this time to grow and develop in some way. And remember, the whole purpose of this series and the things that I'm trying to teach is that we're trying to figure out how to thrive in the midst of a crisis. And by definition, to thrive means to be growing. If we want to thrive in life, we have to keep that forward momentum, even when it feels like everything else is being put on hold or being changed or shutting down. We still want to keep moving forward in our lives. And I'm really remembering that I'm on a mirror in a video and I can't remember which way is forward and which way is backwards. So if I'm doing hand motions the wrong way, I apologize. But we want to keep forward momentum, whichever direction that is for you when you're watching. Now, I do want to mention that if life is more stressful and busier for you in this season, I'm not suggesting that you overhaul your entire life. This isn't the time for you to just add a whole bunch of stuff just because you want to take advantage of this opportunity as much as possible. But all of us have the opportunity to do something with this opportunity, to use it as a chance to learn and to grow based on whatever unique experience we've got. So I'm not suggesting either that we fill every moment with activities designed to help us progress, because that's not helpful either. And that's what a lot of us have done normally. So if we have a chance to slow down and rest, that's a great thing, and we should take advantage of that. And that might be the very area that you are called to grow and develop in at this time. If you're used to going 1,000,000 miles a minute and you have a chance to slow down, then maybe that's what you need to learn. But perhaps there's another area of your life that could use some attention. So again, this is going to be unique and different for everybody, but everyone can do something. So when you're trying to think about this and what you could do during this time, there might be some things that you've already thought of, you're already working on, home projects, decluttering. I've seen a lot of people, starting to do those types of things. So if you've already got something, great. But if you don't, I want to give just a few suggestions for ways that you could come up with something to do. So there's kind of 8 key areas of life that I talk about on my blog. First one is spiritual. So look at your spiritual life. Is it where you want it to be? Are there things you'd like to change? That kind of thing. Mental health. Consider your mental health. Now is a great opportunity to take some time to do some self-reflection, see how your mental health is doing, get help if you need it, look into some research some options that might be able to help you with your mental health, that kind of thing. Relationships, even though we're social distancing, there's a lot we can do with our relationships, with our kids that are here with us, with our spouse that's here with us, and even building and developing friendships. You might have to start through Zoom or Voxer or whatever, but those can blossom into something deeper and more face-to-face once we get through this, but you can at least start something now. So if relationships are something that you want to focus on, that's an option too. Intellectual is another area of life that we can look into. Is there something you want to learn? Some way that you want to grow your brain? Maybe you've always wanted to learn a new language or kind of a new craft. You want to learn how to crochet or sew or knit. Or intellectually, maybe you have been thinking about going back to school for a long time, and now you have the opportunity to research your options for schools and programs and actually start calling schools and discussing that and getting enrolled, maybe even getting started. So definitely intellectual is something that a lot of people will have the opportunity to look into at this point. Vocational. So this is your job. If the work that you're doing, whether it's volunteer or actual work or whatever, if it's not satisfying to you, this is a time that you could kind of take some time to reflect and consider what your options are. What might you want to do instead, and start kind of making some plans and doing some research to figure that out. Obviously, right now, a lot of things are shutting down. There's not as many job opportunities in all the different fields, but you can do some research to decide what you would want to do. Make a list of different companies that you would want to apply for, and do your research about those companies now, so that when things do start opening up, you can start jumping into that. So take some time to look into your vocation. Environmental, that's at this point, your house, you're surrounded by it all day long. So you're probably seeing, I'd love to remodel this, or I'd love to declutter this. And so maybe that's what you want to focus on. And then financial. Just about everyone's going to be hit with some kind of financial ramification from all of this. So it is a good time to look at your current financial situation, maybe make up a budget if you don't have one already, and determine what kind of things you may need to change, whether because of this or just from you now have the opportunity to look into your finances. So those are the 8 different areas that you can look at. Another thing to consider is your personal values. What is most important to you in life? And does your current life align with those values? So if you notice an area of your life that you feel unsatisfied with those 8 areas, or if any of those areas are not aligning with your personal values, then now is the time to just figure out a plan to focus on those areas and bring them into alignment and get them to where you want to be. Best case scenario, we're going to be staying at home, going through this situation for at least a couple more weeks, and that's best case. We're more likely looking into a couple months. My kids are going to be out of school at least until May 1st. Many schools are closed down for the rest of the semester, the year. So we've got a few months, depending on your situation and what's already planned out for you. You've got a couple weeks to a couple months. So take some time. We can do some short-term goals. We don't need to look at a 5-year plan. But what can you do in the next couple weeks or couple months to focus on this area and use it up as an opportunity to grow and improve in whatever area of your life you choose? So again, these days we are living are your actual life. Life is not on hold. And to thrive in life, we have to keep moving forward and growing and developing into the people that God created us to be. So what can you do right now that will help you to keep growing? So that's the thoughts to think about today. I will kind of summarize the key areas and values and things like that in my description for this video when I share it on Instagram and Facebook. So you can look through that and journal through your thoughts about those different areas and what you could do. I also have a resource on my blog that might be helpful for some people. It's a quarterly goal planning workbook. So if you go to workingmomsbalance.com, up in the corner there's a button for the quarterly goal planning workbook, and it really walks you through the process of evaluating your life where it is and creating a plan to set goals and start to achieve them. It's set for a quarter, so 90 days. That's probably fairly close to what we're looking at here, so if that would be helpful for you, definitely check that out. There's also a lot of other blog posts and resources on the blog that can help with thinking through these different areas of your life and developing a plan to grow. So I hope that was helpful, and I will see you all back here tomorrow.